So here's day one. My lumber showed up, the rest of it. There's my subfloor here. I got some Roxol insulation put in the middle between the two units. There's my subfloor glue, some insulation, poly and Tyvek, and sill gasket. On this house, this builder wants me to put the sill gasket on, and then they want me to put poly on it too. So I'm gonna hang the poly over on the inside. So I'll put this on first, and then I'll put my poly on, hang it over in the inside, and then put my sheet of plywood on. So I got the sill gasket on now. Now I'll take the poly and put it on and hang it over the inside like this. Put it on like that and hang it over on the inside. So now the poly's on. Now they also want this Tyvek paper to tuck underneath that. So I'm going to put Tyvek on, run it out this way, and then it will fold up and go against the rim. And then tuck up underneath the wall. So I'll put this on, and then I can put my strips of plywood on. So I'll put it on like this, stable it down here, and then that'll create a seal. It'll seal all the way down into the basement. Well, this is the first time I've ever done it like this, and I don't really like it, but that's what they want, so I guess I'll put that on. Now I'm ready to put my strips on. I'm gonna do this, put the Tyvek on, and then put these sheets on right away so it doesn't blow off. I made these ones wider because it's gonna have a, yeah, that's really gonna get annoying soon. It's gonna have a 6-inch pony wall in the basement, so I made these hang over 6 inches so that the pony wall will come up under here and tuck up to here. So I'll get those on. I got this all on. For this middle wall, I'm gonna go with a 20-inch piece, hang it over 6 inches this way, 6 inches this way, down the middle one. I was gonna snap both these out, cap them both, and then snap them out at the same time, but I think I'm just gonna work on this unit for now, because this Tyvek flapping around is really driving me crazy. So I'm gonna do this floor first, and then I could staple up the Tyvek to the floor, and then I'll put it on this one and do this side. So I'll get my last strip on here, and then I can start snapping it out. Okay, that's all on this side, so I start snapping my lines. I'll snap it out the same way I did the other one. I'll start with my 2 parallel lines, and then I'll snap the back one and make sure that it's square to the side ones. And then I'll measure from that one over to the front. So I'll start by snapping this line. It's gonna have rim board here and then 3/8 OSB. So I'll measure in, my rim board's 1 1/4 inch, the OSB is 3/8. So I want to measure in 1 5/8 inch, and that'll be the inside of my rim board. So I'll snap that line up to the front. So there's that line on there. Now I'll hook on here, and my house is 20 feet wide, so I'll measure 20 feet and then go back 1 5/8 inch. So hook on and make sure I'm on 1 5/8 inch on this line. 20 feet minus 1 5/8 inch is where I make a mark. So that would be 19 foot 10 and 3/8. So I'll mark that up at the front and snap another line there. So now I have this line here that's parallel to that one. It's 20 feet outside to outside minus the rim board and sheet. So now I'll snap the back one, same thing, 1 5/8 inch, and then I just want to double check that it's square. And then I'll measure out to the front wall. So to check if this is square, Oh, I went and picked this up, it's already broken. On this house like an hour, and I break a tape already. Damn it. That's the only tape I had here too. I have to go get another one. Well, before my tape broke, I squared this. I butted into that line, measured across 16 feet, and then I went from the line out that way 12 feet. I hooked a nail in there and I measured across, to my 16-foot mark, and it ended up being 20 feet exactly. So that means my lines are square. I don't want to go get a new tape right now, so I'm going to use this for now. I'll just have to use it like this. I'm going to lay out the front of this, lay out the joists. I can at least do that. So I'm going to start my joist layout off of this side. So the joists are a 2.5 inch rail. So I want to have one that lands half on 8 feet. Because my 8-foot sheet will start off that side and then go to here. So when I come off the rim board, well, actually I want to keep it flush to the rim board, so the sheet will be 3/8 of an inch. So if I hook on there, go 8 feet, that should be the center of the joist. So it's a 2.5 inch rail. So if I go back 1.25 inches, that'll be 8 feet right there. So it'll be between here and here. So then I'll just go put the 8 feet on that mark. And then everywhere there's a diamond, it will be a line and then an X for the joist. Diamond there, diamond here, diamond here. This one, I'm gonna have to move it over because there's a toilet that's gonna hit right here. So I'm gonna move it over. I'm gonna do that after though. I'll just finish this layout. All the diamonds, line. Tape's broken, so actually I'm not gonna put this one here. I'm gonna bring these ones in off of this side. You'll see why in a minute. See, for this last one, if I put it right here where it's supposed to go, it'll land right here. And that's going to be too close to this because they won't be able to insulate in there. If I have rim board here and then a joist here and then I sheet over top of it, they're not going to be able to insulate it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in this way, the same amount. So I'll bring this one in. I'll start at 18 and X ahead, and then I'll go 19.2 from there. That's it. So I don't need this one. And then I'll have a small space here. So where this toilet's gonna hit, I would normally want to put the joist about 19.2 off the end, but this joist is gonna hit about here, so I'm gonna move it over. I'm just gonna go 22 inches X ahead. So now I have this back all laid out. I'll make those same marks up at the front. So now I have the front and backs all laid out. I'm gonna mark where the beam pockets are gonna go. I have to cut that sheet out of there so I can drop the beam into that pocket. So to mark that out, the floor is supposed to be 11'4" before it hits that stairwell. So I just have to hook on the back here, make sure I'm 1 5/8 inches on that line, measure out 11'4", and the beam will be X back towards me. So I'll mark 11'4". I think the back one's a 3-ply beam, so I'll need to go 11'4" and then take off 5.5 and cut that out. So I'll do that over there and over there. And then the stairwell is 6'8". I think I'll have to check the plans, but I think it was 6'8" from that 11'4". So from the front of that beam to the front of the other beam will be 6'8". So I'll mark those 2 marks on the beam pockets and then cut them out. So for this beam pocket, I'm hooked on the back, marked 11'4", and then went back 5.5, and I'll cut this out. And then I'll measure from this line 6'8", and that'll be to the start of the next beam. Well, look what the concrete guys did to me again. The pockets are in the right spot over there. I got them cut out. And these 2 over here, I missed. Hitting the beam is supposed to go right here, but my pocket's in the wrong spot. There's 2 inches of concrete here. On this one and on this one, same thing. The pocket's in the wrong spot. My beam needs to go here. This is at the same spot as it is over there. 11'4" off the back and then 6'8". That side works. Those ones are in the right spot. these ones aren't. They're in the wrong spot. So they're gonna have to come cut this out. I can't do anything until they come and cut these, so I guess it's time for a beer already.